Hello everybody. We hope you're having a great day today. We certainly do, as last Sunday we got the chance to watch the newest Yellowstone episode, titled Winning or Learning. The episode was the best one of the season so far in our opinion, since it witnessed major reveals and critical plot developments that hint the rest of the season will be just amazing. The themes of the episode were all over the place, as each character had to deal with their issues, and somehow they all got enough screen time. This is both blessing and a curse, since it means we have a lot to talk about in the show, but also had to eliminate some points to avoid speaking for an hour. First, we should mention John. He is going through perhaps one of the most emotional times of his life, and this episode made this very apparent. We know that being attacked made an impact on John, not only physically but also mentally, as he had struggled to understand what had happened and why. He found an answer to what had happened soon, but the question of why is still waiting for a convincing answer. He also felt insecure suddenly at his ranch and hometown, as not only him, but also his family got attacked. Since John is a tough man who rarely shows emotions, we didn't have big scenes where he expresses all those feelings. However, occasionally, through a glimpse of a word, Kevin Costner showed us with his great acting skills that he is not okay and feels vulnerable. In this episode, we saw this vulnerable side of John a little bit more through his interactions with his children. First, we saw him talking with Casey. He told him about Jamie and wanted him to figure out whether Jamie is involved in all of these or not. It was obvious that John was hurting as he was missing Jamie, but his pride and the fear of the possible loss of his son's loyalty were keeping him away from reaching out to him. He also advised Casey to figure something out to save his family. Then, when Casey came back with the news heralding that Jamie didn't hesitate and will do his best to help them, John got relieved, only discovering that Casey will be leaving Yellowstone with his family for a while. The news broke John, as he confided in Beth after she let him know that she might work with the company that he is fighting against. John rightfully questioned why all of his children try to leave Yellowstone to be happy. He realized that Jamie wasn't away from him because he was hating him, he was away because he wanted to feel good for once. Beth responded to him by saying that there is no peace in Yellowstone, and only ones who like chaos are willing to live there, including John, Casey, and herself. Still, all these made John question whether he managed to build a safe and delighted life for his children. We are not used to seeing John questioning his decisions this way, but we sure love to glimpse this vulnerable side of him. Another important character of this episode was Jamie, as he discovered towards the end of the episode that there is a high possibility his biological father, Garrett, was involved with the attacks. We have to mention that we are surprised to see a redemption arc of Jamie, as he got villainized massively over the past year. For a long time, we all believed that he was the mastermind behind all of these. He was always the black sheep of the family, hated by Beth while craving for his father's attention and never getting enough of it. Thus, he has become weaker compared to the rest of the family, as he couldn't feel like a true man next to the others. In this episode, we saw his happiness over owning something of his own for once upon purchasing a ranch. He was like a child at 41 years old. It was a bittersweet scene. It was obvious that he had a lot of repressed desires that he would like to explore. However, it was also obvious that just like John, he was also in a vulnerable state because he could trust anyone who made him feel like he was the man. Well, unfortunately, Garrett saw this opportunity and pretended to be there for him when he was in need. In this episode, we saw that Jamie was truly a naive boy who just wanted to be loved and appreciated by his father, whether it be John or Garrett. We saw that he was ready to make John happy just because he wanted him to do so. And yet, he wanted to make Garrett happy as well. This means that unconsciously, he might be used by Garrett in his plot, which is horrible for Jamie. We can expect Jamie to be devastated soon, as he will have to question his loyalty to both the Duttons and Garrett and decide which side he will choose. Unfortunately, so far, it seems like the biggest loser in this dangerous game will be Jamie, as he is betrayed by the one person he trusts with all his whole heart. To be honest, we would have been happier if Jamie was the mastermind behind the attacks, as it would make him the guilty one who deserves the bad of everything. However, now we're rooting because he is just misunderstood and suffers from a lack of communication and love. What about Garrett? Well, we believe he will do anything to not lose Jamie, as he is a great asset for him to utilize in the future. However, we also believe that he wouldn't hesitate to go against Jamie if he has to. He might even go as far as to harm or even kill Jamie just to avenge the Duttons. We believe his hatred for John has deeper causes that are waiting to be explored since those attacks were too complicated to be done out of nowhere. He might have planned all of those for years when he was in prison, which is a scary thing to think about. What do you think of Yellowstone Season 4? Have you enjoyed the story so far? Do you think Jamie deserved better? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.